use Splunk Cloud to do analytics on telecommunications CDR analytics on CDR data. First, I will describe the problem and then tell you what CDR are and how to use Splunk to analyze some CDR data that were provided by Telecom Italia. Okay, what is the problem? Telecommunication system generates a large amount of CDR record. CDR is some logs which is generated each time you make a call, and the system can generate 100 gigabytes of CDR per day, depending on the size of the customer on the telecom network. And today, operators use CDR to billing and for network performance monitoring. In this project, we want to show how CDR can be used to improve these processes, reduce the time it takes to monitor, to make some operation, and also to understand how the customer is using the service. This will help operator to capture more revenue. So, what are CDRs? CDR, as I say, is generated each time you make a call, and usually it contains the phone number of the caller, the phone number of the destination, the location, some information on location of the call, and also information describing the quality of service, the experience by the user when they were making this call. Operator can then aggregate this type of information to get a 360 view of the system. How, for example, in this diagram, you see we have analytics is used to provide a real-time view of the number of active calls, and also the revenue and implication, and how this evolved compared to the previous quarter. So, Splunk. Okay, Splunk is a big data analytic tool which can be used in almost in any step of the big data analytic process, from data collection, aggregation, indexing, searching, and visualization and reporting. Splunk is offered in two options: on-premise deployment or in the cloud. In this project, I'm using the Splunk Cloud version. Splunk is very flexible. It supports any type of data. You can use structured data, and Splunk will be able to convert this even unstructured data to a structured data. And it's recognized by many industry analysts as the most powerful tools and with enterprise-grade future for doing machine data and log data analytics. Okay, to do this tutorial, the first thing to do is to subscribe on Splunk, to register on Splunk to have an account. They provide a private workspace for 50-day trial, and this was enough for me to use it to develop this application. So if you want to repeat the same thing like me, you have to create your account and follow the instruction that I will describe here, because after this demo, my account will expire. With this account, you have 8 GB per day of upload and a total of storage space of 28 GB. This is enough to do interesting stuff. And then Splunk, as I say, implements numerous features for doing many type of data analysis, whether you want to rearrange the data, to restructure the data, to index or to analyze and to visualize or to make some report. Splunk also provides APIs that can be used to interact with other systems like Salesforce or even Cloud Foundry. platform. And it also hosts an app store where you can find 1,000 of analytic applications that a developer can reuse. For example, a developer can take JavaScript, insert some JavaScript in his application, and when the application is running, it is pumping data directly to Splunk, and and then they can log into Splunk and visualize, and they have some view of the behavior of the application. You have many other add-on and connectors towards Cisco system and many other systems. Basically, okay, Splunk run today on Amazon Cloud, and the Splunk Cloud was just announced a month ago. It's a new service. Before it was called Splunk Storm. This service has been dismantled and replaced by Splunk Cloud. Okay, the first thing we have to do is to prepare our data for analysis. The data I'm using in this demo was downloaded from Telecom Italia. Telecom Italia was so generous to make some data available, and they are making this represent gigabyte of data, and the one I'm using, it contains CDF of SMS, wireless internet access, and telephone call of the city of Trento, of the province of Trento in Italy. And this data was aggregated for every 10 minutes different cells to have an idea of the level of activity in different cells. This can be used to monitor the performance of the network. This diagram below shows you how the data looks like. It's basically a text file. And this text file, you don't even need to transform it more before you upload to Splunk. I just uploaded to Splunk, and Splunk was able to figure out how the data is structured and then create this nice table behind that now I can use to start running my search query. So the first query that we will run is to have an idea of the events, the calls, receive and send calls that happen in a specific cell. In this case, we take the cell number 9998. So when we filter the events on this, we realize that there were 11 calls made in this cell in this particular day. Now, in the second query, I try to I will analyze a number of activity that were greater than 30. Internet activity that were greater than 30. And we found out that there were almost 90,000 internet access activity that were higher than 30. In the next query, I want to view the number of events that happen within a specific period of time. In this case, November 1st, between November 1st and November 2nd, 2013. Yeah, all this data are collected from 2013. And Splunk provides a nice filter. You see here the red arrow that you can use you can configure to specify which period of time you want to view the activity. In the next query, I just want to have an idea of the number of events that makes the top 20 SMS out activity. And here it returns 4 million events Yeah, I see that there is 30 SMS out activity, representing 8% of the 4 million events that were queried. In the next query, I want to analyze the correlation between two attributes. In this case, I want to see how the internet activity level has evolved over the time. Remember that Splunk has added a time attribute on my data, which was missing in the original version. Here we now have a nice graph that tells us how the internet activity level evolved during the day. And because we're analyzing in 2 days, the 2nd and the 4th of November, we see that there is a trend. There is the curve are almost similar. Okay, so to conclude, we can say that Splunk provides a comprehensive tool to do data analysis. It displays a rich feature for making query and extracting many type of information from the CDR and getting many details. You can it looks that you can do a lot of type of query. You can write a lot of type of query, and it's very simple, very intuitive to learn. It's easy to use, accessible to even non-techie people. And the cloud version is really interesting to try. You don't need to install anything, and yeah, and you have many API and many connectors that can help you to connect to other applications that you may have. But because Splunk is not open source and it may be expensive for a small company with a lower IT budget, and there is also a risk of lock-in if you are too dependent on the feature that are provided by Splunk. Thank you for listening.